This video is sponsored by G2A. Use cashback code DORON for 3% off on Warcraft products. Hello guys, this is Doronsmovies, and today I will be talking about the trolls and how powerful they are, going through their history, characteristics, and then talking about their power level. So, without further ado, let's get into the lore. Trolls are one of the oldest, if not the oldest, non-old god or titan-forged races on Azeroth that arose from the wilderness. Initially, they were very primitive and superstitious, practicing cannibalism and other mystic rituals, creating a form of magic known as the voodoo. They worshipped the wild gods, naming them the Loa, and following them, majority gathered around the mountain range of Zandalar, where many of the Loa had resided. They would establish numerous encampments with the most powerful tribe, the Zandalari, claiming the highest peaks, building shrines that would evolve into the bustling temple city of Zuldazar. Soon, the trolls would become so powerful that they would essentially rule most of Azeroth. The trolls split into the Amani, the Gurubashi, and various other tribes, with the Zandalari being the uniting one and the most influential. Eventually, they would awaken the Catraxi general by accident, which would start a massive troll-aqir war that would last for thousands of years, and while they won, they paid a great price. Afterwards, a group of dark trolls turned into night elves, built their own empire through the Well of Eternity, and with their magic would significantly diminish the power of the trolls, as they had no ways to counter them. They would go into descent, and then the War of the Ancients occurred, which was by and large the single worst event in their history. The trolls split across the different continents, with the main tribe, the Zandalari, being isolated on a small island. Each of them would have their own history and would constantly try to reclaim their former glory, uniting on many occasions, but ultimately always failing. Very recently, the Darkspear tribe joined the Horde and even helped the Horde fight against many of the troll efforts. In Battle for Azeroth, the Zandalari trolls, stuck in a very tough spot, started operating with the Horde and became allies, which was a very crucial point in their history, as the Zandalari tribe is the single most significant and influential tribe of all the trolls. So, with this very brief history, what are the characteristics of the trolls and how powerful are they? I'm going to be mainly focusing on the playable races, the Darkspear and the Zandalari, as the trolls themselves can be very different. There are trolls out there that are slim and agile, and there are also massive troll brutes possessing incredible strength and size. Generally, the Darkspear and the Zandalari are very similar in height, with the males being about 8 feet tall on average, so around 240 centimeters, and the females being around 7 feet too, so around 220 centimeters. The main difference is that the Zandalari trolls have upright posture and a more robust build, while the Darkspear trolls are on average very slender and hunched. They weigh about 250 pounds on average, so about 115 kilograms, while the Zandalari are speculated to weigh more. Trolls possess 3 fingers and 3 toes, with one protruding from the heel, and they generally don't wear shoes. Trolls can be in various colors from light blue to green, and usually possess short and soft fur. They also have tusks and are known for their incredible agility, reflexes and strength, which makes them one of the best hunters on Azeroth. By far, the strongest characteristics of the trolls are their regeneration abilities, having incredible physical resilience and being able to regenerate from wounds at an astonishing pace. They can regain lost limbs and organs, as well as shattered jaws and various other battle wounds. It is actually a lot crazier than most people realize, as some drummers would skin themselves to use it for a drum and then would regenerate. They can almost instantly regenerate from an arrow if the arrow is removed. So while the trolls are mortal, they are definitely hard to kill. In terms of culture, almost everything revolves around the Loa, which are very diverse and can range from benevolent to straight out evil. While the trolls within the Horde were tamed, they are dark creatures known for practicing cannibalism, sacrificing their own and their enemies, and various other dark rituals. Their main magic is voodoo, which is a type of magic, and the practitioners are known as witch doctors. When it comes to classes, there are two very prominent ones, but the game does a very bad job of actually representing the trolls. You have the general melee class, the warriors, hunters, and rogues, which are kinda similar, especially in the lore, and the shadow hunters, which are similar to them, but also at the same time are masters of voodoo and shadow magic. Much like in the Orcish society, most trolls are actually hunters, regardless of their class, and they are known as some of the best across Azeroth. On the other side, you have priests that are almost entirely different to their in-game counterparts. Generally, priests are actually witch doctors and can practice a vast variety of spells, mainly depending on their tribe and the Loa they worship. They are very different when compared to the Draenei or the human priests. Then there are the druids and the shamans, which are also similar to these, but a lot of them were recently introduced, even though the trolls had a connection with nature and the wild gods longer than almost anyone else. Lastly, there are the spellcasters such as the mages and the warlocks, and while trolls are known to practice dark magic, they're not the best spellcasting race when compared to the likes of the elves, humans, or the Draenei. In terms of mounts, they generally utilize raptors for ground mounts and bats for flying, but they have used anything from bears to dinosaurs to rhinos and turtles. When it comes to technology, the trolls are sort of primitive, but at the same time advanced, and a lot of their technology revolves around the voodoo and the Loa. The trolls were able to successfully build ships, massive cities, and all sorts of different vaults and mechanisms. Siege weapons, walls, forts, and all the main things required for war. However, they are by no means a technologically advanced race such as the goblins or the gnomes. So with all of these abilities and characteristics, how powerful are the trolls? Well, they're one of the oldest races on Azeroth that have been here for thousands and thousands of years. At one point in time, they essentially controlled all of Azeroth and were incredibly powerful. They defeated the Old God forces, which was a significant feat, but they weren't able to contend with the Night Elves and later on the Elves, humans, and recently the Horde in the Alliance. Physically, they're one of the most powerful when compared to the rest, as they're incredibly tall, strong, and agile. Trolls are some of the best hunters and warriors on Azeroth, as well as witch doctors and practitioners of dark magic. So, in conclusion, I would rank them very high, possibly top 5 out of the playable races, and while they lack in technology and the knowledge of the arcane, trolls are still incredibly powerful. Thank you for watching. Do check out how Frost Rhythms are created by clicking on the screen, and check out the second channel, Dorons Academy, on real world history and science. See you next time.